Test.
Tickle.
I think this is good. Talk.
I am talking.
Talk more.
You talk more. I'm talking the exact amount that I need to talk.
I'm scared that your voice is going to be significantly...
Well, why is mine quieter than yours?
Right, well.
I did music tech. I got an E, but I still did it.
Right. We're live. Welcome to the Joe Rogan show.
Do you want
Can I have
this?
that cushion? Yeah. I better turn my phone off as well.
That's a good idea, boys. You'll be annoyed.
Yeah. Oh, instant back pain. So the first thing we should probably address is we got a lot of questions asking us like how we are and if we're doing okay. Because obviously we've got COVID. That's why we're doing this. Because we wouldn't otherwise spend time together.
Obviously.
Yeah, we wouldn't spend this much time together if we didn't have
Not
COVID.
normally, no.
No, we definitely don't spend every waking fucking hour together.
Yeah.
No, we've got COVID. We tested positive on Monday.
Sunday.
Sunday's when we got symptoms.
Saturday's when we got symptoms.
Yes. Saturdays.
Timelines are going well. Let's just leave those out, shall we?
We're going to start this off by telling them if we're okay, and then proceed to be completely confused.
Yeah, we've got mild confusion, increased lethargy. Anyway, we got COVID, basically. That's what we're going with. It doesn't matter when we got it, when we got symptoms, we've got COVID. And both of our knees and backs hurt.
Yeah.
That's our main symptom, is that we've got bad backs. The same as every day, but it's worse a bit worse.
Yeah, we already normally have bad backs. They're just significantly worse.
Yeah.
Like that's probably my main complaint from COVID at the moment is my back pain is just so much worse. Welcome to the show where we talk about our back pain.
Yeah, and we've chosen to sit on the floor to help that.
I thought it would look nicer. So we've had so many arguments already leading up to this thing because I wanted it to be completely unplanned, like we just chat, answer some questions, no arguments during the show. So we've got all the arguments out beforehand.
But there might be some because of these questions.
Well, you better have not put the Batman. Someone asked us a question about who would be Batman, and we decided to leave that question out because it just wouldn't have ended well.
Well, it was who would. Don't worry. We might see.
We've had this. So we put all these questions in a hat that people have asked us. And
hopefully you have asked us.
Yeah, and we've also included some questions of our own. If there's a question about Batman, I'm going to immediately throw it out. Or just eat it, just consume it.
That's what Robin would do.
All right, let's not get into that yet. But we're going to be hopefully answering some questions about being paramedics. I was going to say being pandemics. Being paramedics in a pandemic, and in general, about our life, and about having COVID and vaccinations and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff.
Should probably disclaim that we're by no means experts in vaccines or COVID or anything like that, but we are healthcare professionals, so we've got a bit of an insight into some of it. But we do not claim to be experts, especially when it comes to the vaccine or COVID. And even, we were saying the other day, even the smartest paramedics that I know, who is very smart, even he knows so much about it, but he's definitely not an expert himself.
Oh yeah, the only thing we have above just like the standard person on the street is that we've dealt with COVID closely since the start of the pandemic. Like we've been to like lots of patients who have COVID or have family members who have COVID and
given it to us.
So given it to us and been in worked closely with the hospitals and been into ICUs, and we've seen like the effects of COVID. That's the only difference. I haven't done any research into COVID or vaccination, so I don't know any more than probably what you do.
Well, I've done a bit of research, but I've got a brain like a sieve, so I now know.
We know nothing about vaccinations, because we're not virologists, not immunologists.
Yeah.
It's not our specialty. We're paramedics. Our job is to keep people alive before they get to hospital. And then it's not our problem. No, we continuing care.
No, yeah.
All that. Should we start with a question? Mm-hmm. I want to go first. I'm going first.
Go on then,
I'm Batman.
It's your show, Robin.
All right, you ready? All right, so the first question is, can you do a shove it yet? So that's a skateboarding question. I know you definitely can't do a shove it. I've landed a shove it once.
I did have a dream that I could skateboard the other night.
Yeah.
I nailed a shove it.
Skateboarding in dreams is so easy though.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fun. It's like what people imagine skateboarding to be like, oh yeah, I could probably do that. And then they get on
And
the
I could. I did do it. So.
It doesn't really specify if it's a dream. So in a dream, you can shove it.
Yeah.
In real life, you're a loser. No, I can't shove it either.
That's it.
So.
Because of your bad back.
Because of my back, yeah. If it
To
wasn't
stop
for my
skating
back,
because
yeah.
of your back. Yeah. Right, here we go. I'm going to choose one of them. I'm not going to choose that because I know that's the question I wrote down.
You can't cheat. You're meant to not look.
I couldn't see it. I know the colour of the paper's different. I didn't
I'm
read
holding it up next time.
All right. Where do you live?
That's a bit personal.
Yeah.
Canterbury.
Canterbury. We can't give the exact address unless you want to send us some food. We live on the riverside. We splashed out a bit on this flat for us. We kind of decided that... well, actually, I brought Marcus with me to view this flat to make sure that I didn't buy it immediately because I knew that I liked it.
When you say buy, you mean rent?
I mean rent. Yeah, very much rent. And we ended up just both fucking loving the place. Sorry for swearing.
No,
Can I swear?
yeah, you can swear. You can swear,
good.
it's fine.
Go for that.
Yeah, I agree. He messaged me. I'd just woken up from a night shift and he's like, do you want to come view this place with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll come with you. We both walked in and we were like, we're living here. That's it. So yeah, it's Canterbury, Kent, in the United Kingdom, England.
Next to the river and the ducks.
Yeah, it's very good. We saw some cygnets. Is that what you call? Is it cygnets? Yeah. Some baby swans.
The Queen's children.
My turn. Impartial. Do you think you'll always be a paramedic? Why not? You wrote this question. Oh wait, you wrote all the questions. I was like, I recognise your handwriting. I know you wrote this. What's wrong with us?
Jesus. We have got COVID. Jesus.
Yeah. Do you think you'll always be a paramedic? Why not?
Why not? Because I know the answer is no to both of us. No matter who answers that, the answer is no because we both know that we don't want to be paramedics forever.
No. Definitely not. I don't think it's a job that you can sustain for a long time, especially not these days. Maybe back in the day when, there are paramedics that have been in the service for like 20 years, but the job was very different 20 years ago. It's especially in the, I can't speak for Australia. I haven't worked out there. I just did my study out there, but in the UK, like I can't stay in this job for much longer, to be honest. It's a great job in a lot of ways, but I already feel burnt out.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is, when we kind of started, lots of people said they kind of burned through paramedics, which we never really believed, but especially now that's moving more towards primary care, there's a lot of primary care and social care involved in it that kind of wasn't the initial thought of a lot of paramedics when they go into the job. It kind of ends up, it's very taxing and it's a lot of work. And don't get me wrong, having worked in hospitality, I actually think that this job is easy in lots of ways. You get 5 minutes every time you go to hospital, at least, to get a cup of tea. You often, if it's not a difficult patient, can sit down and chill out. So it's not too bad. It's not a difficult job in lots of ways, but the schedule, working night shifts, the rota patterns, it's just knackering and it's not especially rewarding work once you've done it for a while because you kind of realise that what I did didn't actually make much difference often, a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of our frustrations are with the system that we work within, and as paramedics, we only deal with one patient at a time, so you can only affect really one person's experience, whereas we're working. That patient requires care that relies on a system that potentially cannot provide the care that it needs, especially when it comes to things like mental health. So we have to then facilitate that and patch up all the holes, and it's really difficult because we don't have all the answers. And as paramedics that work, in an ambulance, we're trained. Our degree was structured to train us to deal with emergencies, like life-threatening emergencies. And how often do we go to life-threatening emergencies?
Very rarely, yeah.
One every few shifts, maybe. So.
Yeah, I rang the other day because I had 2 real jobs in a day, and I was like, "This is amazing. What's going on?"
Yeah. When you say real job, maybe explain that.
Yeah. So, serious case where someone needs life-saving interventions or life-preserving interventions or something
Yeah.
similar.
So what's an example of that?
So cardiac arrest was one of them, which are not always, well, often not a good outcome, especially in the UK. In fact, less than 5, this is an old statistic, but less than 5% of people, this is across the range of everyone from healthy to not healthy people, make it here because we don't all know CPR. So if you don't know CPR, go and learn CPR. Because in Seattle, 62% of all people make it because people know CPR, because if you do a driving test, you have to do CPR. So that's the ironic thing. A friend of ours did like a talk on it. The most important thing is like CPR at early stages, and we're often not there to give that because we can't get there that quick. It'd be nice if we could, but we can't.
Yeah, the system's really stretched.
Yeah. So, in summary, I don't think I'll be a paramedic on the front lines. Definitely not forever. But,
Definitely not forever.
I think I want to work in healthcare for a long time, in some capacity, but not.
Something I want to keep in ticket. You know what I mean? It's good to have like that skill, and it opens a lot of doors up. Which that's one thing I like about this career path.
Yeah.
It's given me a lot, and it's taught me a lot about life and death and everything in between.
And it can be so rewarding. There's so many times it can be rewarding.
Oh yeah, you do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong. We all like to complain about our jobs, but it's given me a lot. Like it's given me back pain.
Okay, I reckon we should
move on. Moving on
for a while. Yeah.
Is it your turn?
I'm not looking.
Good.
On a scale of 1 to jumping in the river, how bored are you? That's a good question. Actually, this has been great. We're not bored. We both have a bit of work to do. I haven't been bored once.
No,
it's been fantastic.
No, we've got a lot of like toys here, so we've got a lot of things to distract ourselves with, and we live together. We work together occasionally, and we are like best friends.
Probably.
We're kind of like brothers because we argue so much, but in like a fun way.
Yeah.
And there's just no filter between us. We share everything. Well, not everything. I know what you're thinking.
So we haven't been bored. If anything, one of us is bored of the other one, waiting for them to finish work or finish cooking for them.
Yeah. By work, we've got a lot of projects that we work on outside of our paramedic jobs. So, we spend time together. We've been playing like board games and PlayStation and.
Ironically, we've been playing Pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Great board game.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
We beat it as well.
Yeah.
It took us ages.
Not in real life. But the game.
Yeah. But no, I haven't been bored at all. I'm very rarely bored. Someone once told me that only boring people get bored.
Was that your mum?
No.
Because everyone's mum told them that. Everyone's mum.
I mean, is that not?
Everyone's mum says that.
Okay. For Marcus. I wonder who wrote this. If you could choose to isolate with any famous person, who would you choose?
Oh, good question.
Oh, that's a great question. I wonder who came up with that one. I want you to answer this as well.
All right.
You go first.
No, that's not how it works.
No.
This is for Marcus.
Oh, man. If I could isolate with a famous person...
I know who I'd choose.
Oh, I know who I'd choose. Porter Robinson, 100%. 100%.
I knew you were going to say that.
I just want to hang out with him and
Yeah.
learn from him, and he's a musician, producer. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, most people who know me will probably guess what I'm going to say.
Oh, I know. Actually, I just realised who...
Yeah, but I don't know if I would choose him, actually.
John Mayer.
John Mayer is, I'm his biggest fangirl. If you're listening, John.
He's probably going to watch this.
Yeah, he probably will watch this.
You should probably say whatever you need to say to him, to the camera.
Nice baps.
Nice chops.
I think I'd probably choose Will Smith.
At this age? Like now?
Yeah.
Current Will Smith?
I think Will Smith is like I think he'd be very insightful. I also think he'd be very fun. I think you can have some decent in-depth conversations with him.
Yeah.
And I love his like fail forward thing. Have you heard that? Where he does fail often. I'm going to butcher this.
Okay, cool.
Fail often.
Will Smith, if you're watching.
So yeah, if Will Smith and John Mayer are sat next to each other watching this, then I'm sorry. Basically, the concept is fail often and fail forward. So he's encouraging people failing because you learn from failures.
Yeah, 100%.
And to like embrace the fact that you fail. I think that's really cool. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so you want him there for like moral support to
Yeah, basically, yeah. To hold
whilst
me.
you're in bed.
To hold me.
Don't worry, you've got COVID, but fell forward.
You'll be exactly.
Thank you, Will. I love you.
So you choose Porter Robinson purely based on his music.
I choose Porter Robinson because he's someone I just want to meet. Like, just.
You want to spend 10 days with him, even though you know nothing.
Well, I know nothing about him. He's just who came to mind because I just love his music so much. I think he's fucking awesome. So, yeah, Porter Robinson. If you're watching this, I just bought tickets to your show in Paris, literally this morning. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, it's your turn.
I'm gonna do this because you weren't doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got Parkinson's. Wow. How many zombies have you killed in isolation?
I've killed more than you, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I've killed more than you.
Yeah. We do play a lot of zombies. Well, we were playing a lot of zombies.
So by zombies we mean Call of Duty, Nazi zombies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game. Yeah. We're probably going to kill some more today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else that? Was that Martin?
Yeah, that was Martin. For Marcus. Ooh, again.
Oh, you've done that twice in a row.
Yeah.
There's only 2 in there.
Are there any big differences to being a paramedic in Oz compared to the UK? So I can't do this question that much justice because I've never worked as a paramedic in Australia. I did my training there, so I did my degree there, which was 3 years, but I've never actually worked for AMS Victoria. And every ambulance service in Australia is different. It's not like in the UK where it's all under the NHS umbrella. There are differences in between ambulance services here, but more or less it's the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know really. Like I know that when I was there was different drugs, different equipment, and when I graduated, paramedics weren't even registered as healthcare professionals. Since then that's changed, and we are registered in Australia. But I know that brings a whole registration within healthcare professionals brings a whole different sort of element to the job. I don't know. I would probably have to ask one of my Aussie mates who they're all happy there. I know staff welfare is definitely better, and one of probably the biggest difference is pay. You get paid way better, way more for less work. There's just a lot more resources available. I do know that there are a lot more resources, a lot more availability. Like any big jobs that paramedics go to, they're almost always backed up by the air ambulance, which is within the ambulance service. It's not separate like here. So I do know a bit actually. Yeah. So the air ambulance is actually run by Ambulance Victoria. Okay. I think that's right. Yeah. So it's their employees, their helicopter, whereas here, the air ambulance is usually a separate organisation that's funded by charity work. The doctors aren't doing it for charity; they're getting paid. All the pilots. Doris, do you want to just fly the chopper today? Is that all right? No, so that's a big difference. But I know that they have what are they called? Micro paramedics. That's like their version of CCPs, critical care paramedics here. And I know that they kind of attend all the big jobs, so you kind of have someone watching over you on serious incidences. Where in this country, because it is more stretched, you find you're working alone, you have a lot more autonomy.
Don't get me wrong, there are critical care paramedics who do back you up often, but if they're at another job and 2 jobs happen at the same time, it might well be that you're on your own. Which can be seen both ways, I think, because you're trained to deal with that. And I think if someone who's a critical care paramedic is always there, then you kind of lose those skills.
No. So from a paramedic perspective, that's frustrating because you don't always need or want a critical care paramedic there. From a patient perspective, it probably,
it's great.
It's great, but it does kind of mean that you're kind of babied a little bit. I could be, there's probably someone in Australia watching this being like, that's bullshit, but I've just heard, that's what I've heard. So I should probably stop.
I imagine it swings both ways as well, because there's definitely been jobs where I've been like, oh my God, I wish there was a critical care paramedic here with me, because I am shaking in my boots.
Yeah, but the main thing, the pay.
There you go. Can you shake it? Thanks. I've got a paper cut. What has annoyed you most about the other person?
What, in isolation?
It must be. You wrote it.
Well, yeah. I can't remember who asked that question.
I imagine it's in isolation because this is kind of an isolation questionnaire. Can I get more coffee?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
While I deliberate.
Well, you think about how I annoy you and piss you off. By
Yeah, just so you know, the mic is attached to you, so anything
cool.
you say will be...
I fucking hate that guy. Do you want more coffee?
What? Bring it out. Bring it over. Yeah, bring it over. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Give me the dregs.
This is a nice interlude. I'll be back. I'm not having any
Did you
sugar.
try to do something nice for me right before I answered this question?
No.
Well, keeping my coffee cup filled is definitely not one of the things. I don't know, man. You actually haven't annoyed me that much this isolation.
Why do you say this isolation like that? Why did you say that?
Oh, great. You're doing it again. You're twisting my words.
I'm not. I'm just analysing what you said a little bit.
No, I don't know. There's nothing that's really too much.
Oh, sorry. That's called COVID. No, I don't think...
Maybe the amount of work.
There was a day when you were pretty angry in the morning, and I just had to leave you to it. You were unwell.
Oh.
I think I said I was cleaning up, and I was like, God. I just went outside and put the bins out, and I used Clinels to wipe everything, meaning that I was making sure that no one else was going to get COVID. And he was like, "Are you trying to hint at the fact that I'm not helping you?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
I had a fever. This was the day that I had a fever still, so I was pretty unwell. And he just kept commentating on how much cleaning he was currently doing.
Just because I was bored and I was trying to have a bit of conversation.
Yeah, I did snap it. I snapped it.
God,
I'll hold my hands
But
up.
actually, not been that annoying. We haven't annoyed each other that much this isolation.
No, we haven't.
This isolation.
Yeah, we have isolated together a few times. This is the first time we've had COVID though.
No, I just
it's
chose
mine.
that one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I got Christmas from doing that.
How many jobs have you been to that turned out to just be trapped gas? Oh man. No, I don't know. We go to abdo pains all the time that are probably just trapped gas.
What's that statistic? Is it 80% of abdo pains that go to hospital never get diagnosed with anything?
I don't know.
Or 60%? Wow.
There's a
60%
percentage.
of statistics are made up anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of abdo pains don't really get discovered. I've been to a lot of jobs where I thought...
Yeah.
I actually know of a crew member who was like in excruciating abdomen pain, and their crewmate said to them, "You just need to pass wind, like you'll be fine." Why am I saying pass wind? Fart. Jesus. You just need to fart, you'll be fine. They're like, no. And they went back to station, they went home, and then they just needed to fart. So
they went home from shift.
And because they had agonising abdo pain. And
Really?
They just needed to fart.
Was it relieved immediately after one?
And they were
fart?
like, "Oh."
That's hilarious. That's amazing.
I can't remember who that was, but if they're watching, I really hope that they... Shake it! How do you not get trismus when you do that?
What? You know what trismus is? You want to explain to people what trismus
Trismus is when your jaw gets locked. When I do that, my jaw just automatically locks. It's weird. I think it's because, Anyway.
Right.
Who can balance something on their head the longest?
Our coffees! No.
Are we going to do a cutaway for this?
No, we'll just put something on our head and continue. Alright, let's put these weights.
Fuck me.
We have to have get two of those little house things.
Oh yeah, nice. These are just so that we can... Oh! This is the advent calendar that Mum got for me that I then repurposed for Marcus.
Which I then threw on the ground and destroyed accidentally.
So we're just going to carry on then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got to do this. I'm going to get Christmas there.
When is the wedding?
Oh, cheers, Silas. Was that Silas?
Oh, I don't know. We get so many jokes about our relationship. Don't know. Didn't you get your invite?
Although actually I did say we were deciding what to get each other for Christmas. Hey! This guy.
What's that question?
We decided what to get each other for Christmas, and I said...
This isn't a joke.
We need to get.
This isn't a joke.
We need to
Oh
get
my
each other something meaningful, because I'm going in February. I'm going away for 4 months, and then when I come back to Canterbury, Marcus would have left for Australia to like
Forever.
So we won't be living together anymore, and we'll probably be a little bit lost without each other in some ways, not in a weird way. And so, what I thought we should get each other something meaningful. So I said
He wanted us to get rings.
Yeah.